I guess it's going to be part two for this morning. It's practically 5 o'clock in the morning. Give it a few more seconds on the clock. It's still Pacific Standard Time. It's still the 29th of August 2023 for a Tuesday. Very stressed out, pissed off Weaver John C. Roseman, California. Doing that last video there of trying to prove a point to people. Unfucking believable. I'm not holding back in the damn language. I don't care if the zeros and ones don't like it in the first place. The damn algorithms, market algorithms of the companies that we use to get our word out left and right. And yet we still have to hold our words because if we did our exact vitriol, we would be breaking rules and regulations, not to mention guidelines left and right that were supposed to be giving us fair warning, and after the fair warning, dropkick us. I've seen and heard people get pissed off too much about it, but you know what? They didn't bother to read the damn fine lines. And I have to worry about that too, especially if I'm going to be a content producer. I'm a guy telling a story, put it in simple language. And yes, my video's controversial enough during this past week, past few days actually, of things happening that I had to record, that I had to put down on record. It was good that people actually help out other people, despite the fact that maybe differences that pisses off people left and right. They're still freaking human beings, and they deserve to be treated as such. And even if we had a disagreement with another person, despite the fact who and what they are, doesn't matter. They had a disagreement. Let's have a polite disagreement. Let's talk about the situation over here. Let's discuss it as normal human beings instead of people of race and color and creed and religious and everything else going on. You know what drives me to a point where I'm seeing things happening in my campus? I'm seeing the cultural diversity. I'm seeing a cultural diversity, and I'm not bothered by it. I'm not bothered by it. There was a gentleman, probably in his 30s, maybe he was his 40s, I don't know. He wanted what his parents wanted back then. No, he did not. I mean, maybe with the quote unquote free education, if there was any free education. I was going to tell this guy, look, even for a white kid like me, I had to work my way through college and screw up 2 years over there. Didn't even get a chance for me to tell my story. And then again, I didn't exactly have that much time to tell the story, but I could have told the story that even this white kid had to work his way up through part-time jobs just to get through a college campus for 2 years. And once I had my foot in the door each semester, and I still had to make money to get myself foot in the door, I had to keep rent going, a roof over the head. I had to keep a promise. But unfortunately, I broke that promise when I couldn't keep my 2 years academia going. And I got kicked out of college as a kid growing up. As an adult, it's a different story altogether. My phone. I wanted to make sure that these people understood. I wanted these people to understand that an old fart was in front of them, not because I was looking for respect, but because if I was hearing some things of points of view saying that I wish I could go back in time when their sign times were simpler, I was trying to make the point to the kid. You know, so damn naive back then, I swear to God. You didn't even want to do that. But why not? They didn't do this and they didn't do that and they were this and they were that. And you didn't bother to pay attention to history, did you? For the people that had already been there, different viewpoints, and you still had to disseminate from it. But the only viewpoint you had was from a child. You did not have the maturity back then to understand the shit going on around you until you get older enough, and then you get regretting like crazy because maybe you could have done something about it. You were a marker, you were a recorder, you were looking at things happening during those days. You were seeing things happening that you couldn't even explain, but you thought they were okay because your parents had these things. And therefore, you want to get those damn things, but you realize you can't get those things anymore because they had the advantage, you didn't. They were old enough for it. weren't. But you want those things back? You want those days back when you were a kid? Can't have them back when you're an adult. We have to deal with the cards that we've dealt with. We have to clean up the messes of our previous generations, and it's going to take more time, more generational effort on this one. Let's face it, our generations previously screwed things up left and right and perpetuated it and continued it until we're at a situation where we're panicking left and right and blaming the fingers left and right, and that's still not helping the situation. We got to deal, we got to cope, we got to work with it. We got to deal with the climate change. We have to deal with the anger and racism that we have right now as it is. We had to deal with the intolerance that's still continuing to multiply worse than cockroaches. Speaking of which, if you happen to see anything crawling around, freaking you out, that's bug war. I'm dealing with cockroaches, literally. But the bug war we deal with outside is the bug war we carry with us. The marks, the memories, the feelings, the thoughts. And we still have to be responsible enough on how we respond to it. Acts of kindness towards people makes hell of a lot of inroads, I'll tell you. But acting like you're going to be big and bad and tough and everything else, and you think everything else is falling apart, and you're going to blame the other people for it. Well, that's just pretty stupid, isn't it? I see it. I'm calling it. I'm pretty damn stupid. If I was in her age, I'd be scared shitless about saying that kind of situation because I didn't know any better. Now I'm 57. I don't give a shit. I don't have to put a mask on to say I don't like you. Fine, I don't like you. How about that one? Does that help? But, that being said, at least I'm not borrowing my brother's old line cliche about hating everybody. He was an equal opportunist. It was reversed on that one. He was an equal opportunist. He hated everybody. And he made it into a damn joke. These days it's not even funny enough because the damn thing gets you killed. Or you kill people in the process, or something else happens in the process. Sometimes my brother was funny, and other times I thought he was just from the old age of All in the Family. You know, they're still posting those memes on social media these days. I swear these people are idiots. Yeah, back then in the 70s, people had the different attitudes and different thought patterns. They thought racism was funny. I watched a lot of shows back then. I'd seen how people had laughed at Carol O'Connor's rendition of a racist. People laughed at it. We needed something to laugh at because we were too damn afraid to talk about it and be scared about it and try to fix the shit. But no, we had to laugh at the damn crap. From there spawned off a show called The Jeffersons. From there was also another show called Maude. Women's Rights, Women's Liberation. He also discovered his character, and it really took him apart. Don't know why Gene Stapleton left the show, but kids were growing up, already flown out, and then it had to be changed with the character Archie Bunker with the death of his wife, and then Archie had to find a way to deal with that. I didn't watch the show afterwards. I didn't even understand the context of it. I was also watching the show called let's see what's happening, and then there was Good Times. Also, Welcome Back Carter. We had comedies. We had shows back there showing the mirror images of ourselves on some occasions, or even windows of what we were dealing with. We also seen how cultural differences we can laugh at, but also made endearing. especially when you see families are being created out of families. People tried to show the differences of what could be or what we needed to understand in a comedy format. We lost all that. We lost all that. And we mistaken it for the wrong reasons, I believe. It would be easy enough to hate people. It would be easy enough for me to say that differences in people suck. They should be the same. No, they shouldn't be the same. They should be as they are. Because that tells me that I still have a lot of work in myself to go through. And I don't have to be a violent Karen of any sort going after people because of differences. I live in a sea of differences. I live in a culture of differences. I live in an apartment complex full of differences. But you know what's scared the hell out of me and make me sick to my stomach half the time? Is dealing with my own race, my own color and creed, skin, being blatant and sublime and trying to be putting up a facade of an veneer that would tell people of one thing and yet inside they're different. They're scared of the differences, they're scared of everything else, but they're willing to bend and break people because of their own fear, their own terror, their own ignorance, their own arrogance, their own indifferences, their own apathy. Their misunderstandings of what's happening, or their understandings of a situation that wasn't there. I ain't perfect. I don't walk on water. I cuss and curse like a crazy man. Worse. I have to talk about my own insecurities about this. I'm not pulling the punches on my videos. I'm not pulling the videos off the air either. A long time ago, I got turned into a racist. I was trying to not to hate the individuals as much or even the race of them that born and bred them in the first place. If they were going to be a pain in the asses about it, I was going to hate them directly in that one for being pain in the asses and not being a nice person. To be nice to everybody else, but being a pain in the ass to me, how dare you? Yeah, goes to thinking. So when I talked about in my other videos concerning about the gentleman I'm still having an issue with over here, do I wish he would leave? Some occasions, yeah. But then again, I'd be mourning him. Why? Because the missed opportunities that we've had patching things up. I missed a friend I had. But maybe he was no friend. But I can't think that. He doesn't want to be that way, and that's his choice. I'm not going to hold it against him. He'll have to hold it against himself on that one. I wanted to care about a human being. I don't care how broken he was on the outside. But on the inside, he was definitely broken. He was broken. Let his anger and his hatred spew over. I mean, he'll be nice to everybody else, but when it comes out for my situation, he hates me with a passion. I know I sound like I'm the victim here. Maybe, maybe, but I have to let him go. Just pray for the bastard. That's all I can do. Because I can insinuate myself in his life and have something happen that either an apology would happen. But it's not happening these days because there's no window of opportunity here. It's not that we're passing by physically and I can just say something and we'll go crazy because I already seen his actions already. He's already demonstrated it. Plus the fact if he didn't make the steps towards me, that's a different thing altogether. We avoid each other like the plague. And he's not willing. He thinks I'm scared of him. Probably I am. But if I was really going to be going after him, maybe I should have a long time ago. But knowing how he had acted originally, there could have been something about him that would have given me a window of opportunity, not just storming around being a pain in the ass about things. I hate it when I miss opportunities like this, out of my own damn insecurities. I had to keep asking myself, what's the point that I actually say goodbye? I know he's black. I know he had been a gang member. I know he had been shot. I know he had been traumatized. And maybe for a while his personality had been positive enough until one incident changes everything. And then he goes thermonuclear on me in front of people. And maybe that would sting. Maybe that would sting. It hurts worse every time I keep seeing him. The missed opportunities of trying to repair damages and try to regain faith and trust in a friend. And it hurts like hell to see him leave. He's not moving anywhere. He's stuck where he is. At one time, we were supposed to be switching apartments, but then again, I looked at my stuff. I looked how tiny the rooms were, and there's no way in hell that's going to be happening. I got the apartment I got. I have to deal with it. It's not just that. In my also situation here, I hate losing people I cared about. And yeah, I guess I cared enough about him, but I guess I didn't care too much about him because what he said and how he acted and not being very apologetic about the damn thing. Even if I was going to be making amends about the damn thing, it wouldn't matter. He wouldn't do it. It's like hell to let people go after damage has already been done like that when it could have been repair jobs done. The only thing I can do is wish him well, pray that God watches over the guy. That's the only thing I can do. Unless, of course, I was going to be turning into one of those idiots out there who wanted to use anger and hatred as the dark side of the force and go Sith on him. No, I ain't going to do it. He'll live, he'll deal with what he's got right now as it is, he'll deal with who and what he is. He's comfortably marinating in the damn thing, and it's a damn shame, even on my part, because I thought maybe there could have been something reconcilable with the guy. Maybe there could have been something I could have dealt with and just. But the thing is, I hate giving up on the poor bastard. And I still think he's a poor bastard. I have to think that way. I have to think that way because I'm viewing him as a broken man both inside and out. If he doesn't give anybody the chance and opportunity to reach out without biting the hands left and right, then I'm not sticking my hand out. Well, how many times do we get to stick our hands out without getting bit, I wonder? Until we can stand the pain? Until we can stand being bitten to death on that one? But I'm still going to have to pray for the bastard because he's a human being. And at one time, I counted him as an acquaintance and almost as a friend. It hurts when you have people backstab your ass like that. Miscommunication is one of those damn things that'll drive a wedge into it and then continue on. I wanted to know still these days, and he ain't gonna say it anyway without going thermonuclear or kill away on me. I don't want to deal with the vitriol. But I sure as hell don't want to deal with the anger of the asshole in the first place. I know he's an angry black man. He laughs about it with his other friends and thinks he's alright. He sees me and he stiffens up. He probably wishes through his eyes that I was dead or moved on, or both. Then he would be free. I'm not saying I'm totally special in everybody else's eyes. I just hate losing friends. But if I was a true friend at this point. But even true friends and true families have a way of abandoning people left and right. So I don't even know what a true friend is anymore. I've had people make promises when life comes up and changes those promises around. I have to deal, I have to cope, I have to pray, and then move on. I want to have faith and trust in people. I want to have faith and trust. Being a closed off person, it sucks. Fear gets in the way, changes things around, turns a person from a nice person into a rotten son of a bitch. Angry at the world, but also angry at himself or herself. That's a lot of anger. That's a lot of frustration. That's a lot of rage. That's a lot of fear. That's a lot of insecurity. I don't know it. I don't want to be the people like other people I've seen, going after anybody else who's an open target because of what's going on inside of them. If I show people or show him that I still got black friends and I got Latina friends, or at least acquaintances that I can actually talk to me it's a win-win right there. Because it means I'm not afraid. But the things I am afraid of is, and I shouldn't have to be. If I really cared about this poor bastard, I'd be confronting him. And then, even if the intent was there, and there may be fallout on that one. I guess that's the thing I'm also afraid of is the fallout. What happens if it really goes wrong, and then what the hell happens after that? What happens after that? Is it going to be good or not? Or is he going to be turning into another angry Carrion at this point over here? It's really going to be hell bent killing me or something else. He's going to be yelling and screaming his head off saying, "Don't you come near me! Don't you come near me! I told you not to talk to me anymore!" Because I know there's a hell of a lot of anger and there's a hell of a lot of stress. There's a hell of a lot of programming going on in the guy. And for whatever I did to him, I wish I could say I'm sorry. Shit happened. We can't change the past at this point over here, but you want to constantly marinate in it? Is that what you want? Because unfortunately, I'm still marinating in the damn thing, and I'm getting tired of the damn crap. If you're not meant to be a friend, then you're not meant to be a friend. But I ain't treating you as an enemy. Just only collateral damage. The damage you already created yourself. After that incident we had a couple of years back, we could at least talked about the damn thing, but we didn't. He put up the barriers. He kept attacking left and right. So I decided, screw this noise. You know, and inside I hurt because I lost a friend. I don't care the hell if he was black, crippled, former gang member, had a problem with his brain. Maybe I never knew him in the first place, and that hurt because I wanted to care about a friend. Once in a while, I'll see my neighbor friends walking about, and I'll say hey to them, despite the fact they may have differences than what I have. It doesn't matter. Treat them as a human being, and you get treated back the same way. Theoretically, other times it may not be that possible. You got so much anger and misconceptions going on. But I still don't understand why young people have to go down this route in the first place. What the hell happened to them? What sparked this shit inside of them to the point where they're going to be killing other people just to satisfy this dumbass thing going on inside of themselves, where they also kill themselves in the process? What the hell made this asshole back in Jacksonville, Florida, that much of an asshole at a young age? What, was he kicked around by the black? Was he kicked around, insulted, and spat upon? Was he humiliated? What the hell was going on? There had to be something traumatic that started up on the son of a bitch that made him kill people. People. I don't care what color or religion or whatever they were. They're people, damn it. They bleed. They bleed red like the rest of us. I don't get it. Every time we have these kind of assholes out there, I don't get it. I just don't get it.